Irashai. Here comes your fresh Sushi Bites update. None of that supermarket shite. We're at least Yo Sushi quality up in this bitch. I briefly want to talk to you about the Gunbird 2 port for the Nintendo Switch. It was late by 3/4 of a month, being promised for the end of May, and now it's almost July, so thanks for that, ZeroDiv. At least it came, eventually. And if the extra time was spent on polish, then I can't complain. Not only is this a fabulous port as always, it also has a curious quirk I wanted to talk about. Okay, so as to be expected, it seems to be built off the same framework as Saikyo's other ports, with the same menu and settings. You can bump the continues up to infinite, amp up the lives and bombs, and adjust extend settings to your liking. You can pick between English and Japanese text, and here's something particularly interesting. End boss. You can pick your end boss, between original or arranged. So to explain what this toggle does, I need to go back to a topic I briefly skimmed past in the Gunbird 2 Sushi Bites episode. And when those three elements are taken to the North Pole and mixed by a genie, who's either an elephant or a dog, depending on the version of the game you have, then a wish-granting elixir can be created. Yeah, I didn't exactly explain why the two versions of the game, Arcade and Dreamcast, had different final bosses. I figured it was time to put this to rest, because Meowskovich keeps asking me. The end boss of the original arcade version is an elephant, who fires drugs at you and who gives you medicine as a reward. I have a fairly sound theory that the final boss was modelled after, or at least inspired by, Sato-chan, the orange elephant, a mascot for Sato Pharmaceutical, a Japanese drug company. Although I have no evidence to support this, it seems a cut and shut case. Both are elephants, both are orange, and both give you drugs. Sato-chan is based off the Indian elephant, a choice made by Sato Pharmaceutical based on the long life and resilience of the Indian elephant, something they hope to emulate with their pharmaceutical products. The character is also calm and gentle, a nature which Sato Pharmaceutical believed was common among all Indian elephants. The orange elephant was changed to a dog for the Dreamcast version of the game. Between the arcade release and the Dreamcast release of Gunbird 2, it is likely that Saikyo or Capcom were asked to change the character, or as I would guess, they did so by themselves to avoid any presumed legal issues that could arise. Like how Nintendo stripped the infamous Islamic chanting from Ocarina of Time in later builds of the game, long before they had actually received any complaints regarding them. This Switch port allows you to choose between the dog or elephant at will, elephant being original and the dog being arranged. Furthermore, the ending cutscenes also change according to which one you pick. It's a purely aesthetic choice, which I appreciate being allowed to make. So why are we allowed to pick between the two? Maybe ZeroDiv aren't worried about legal ramifications? Or maybe, because many of us were introduced to the game with the Dreamcast version, we would be confused by the existence of an elephant final boss instead of the dog. I don't know. I'm disappointed this port doesn't feature the voice clips from the Dreamcast version, and I'm not particularly sure why. My wild guess is that Capcom recorded them and licensed them to Saikyo originally. This port is fully featured in every other sense, thankfully. It still has Shrine 9 as a playable character, and you can play the one-player co-op mode, which allows you to enjoy the two-player storyline while playing by your lonesome. So I'd say this port is worth picking up, featuring all the great elements found in all of Saikyo's ports for the Switch, such as tape mode and 2 players on one Switch with the Joy-Cons. Oh, and before you say this sounds corporate, I wanted to make this video. Man, I wish I was getting paid for this. ZeroDiv don't even acknowledge my tweets. Fuck 'em. It's not like I wanted to tweet at you or anything, backer. If you want to throw me a buck, there's Patreon, I guess. ZeroDiv ain't gonna send me anything.